Welcome to ANS Solver question 3 of this paper. So for part A, they are asking us to write down in terms of R the probability that Andrea does not cycle to school. So if the probability that she cycles is R, the probability that she doesn't cycle would be 1 minus R. So say for example, if the probability was 0.3, you would do the same thing to find the probability that she does not cycle would be 1 minus 0.3. So therefore in this case, since it's R, it would be 1 minus R. Now let's move to part B1. So for part B1, they are telling us that the probability that Benoit does not cycle to school is 1.3 minus R. So the probability that both Andrea and Benoit do not cycle to school is 0.4. So since it's and, we will multiply both the probabilities that they do not cycle. So the probability that Andrea doesn't cycle is 1 minus R, and the probability that Benoit doesn't cycle is 1.3 minus R. Now let's move on to part B2. So they are telling us to show that this equation simplifies to the following. Okay, so let's expand the brackets first. So 1 multiplied by 1.3 is 1.3. 1 multiplied by negative R is negative R. Negative R multiplied by 1.3 is negative 1.3 R. And negative R multiplied by negative R is equal to positive R square, which is equal to 0.4. So let's simplify this first. So therefore R square minus 2.3 R, because minus 1 minus 1.3 is equal to 2, negative 2.3. So negative 2.3 R minus plus 1.3, and we can get the 0.4 to the other side of the equation. So it will become minus 0.3 minus 0.4, sorry, which is equal to 0. Now let's simplify this. So that is R square minus 2.3 R, and 1.3 minus 0.4 is equal to positive 0.9, which is equal to 0. Now we can, since we don't want the decimal places, we can multiply this equation by 10. So if we multiply this equation by 10, we will get our final answer as 10R square minus 23R plus 9, which is equal to 0 multiplied by 10 is 0, so 0. Therefore this will be our final answer for B part 2 of this question. Now let's move to B part 3, where they are asking us to solve by factorizing this. So first let's multiply. So when since R square has a coefficient, we multiply the coefficient with the last term of the sequence first. So 10 multiplied by 9, which is 90. Now we have to find two numbers that are that give us a sum of negative 23 and sum of negative 23 and a product of 90. So how we do that is by trial and error. You have to try it by trial and error. So 90 divided by 3 is 30. So that wouldn't be it. 90 divided by 5 is 18. Now 18 plus 5 is equal to 23. And since we need a negative, so we can negative sum, so we can write minus 5 minus 18 is equal to 23, and the product of minus 5 and minus 18 would be positive 90. So therefore it satisfies both the situations. So therefore we can write 10R square minus 5R minus 18R plus 9 is equal to 0. So now we can remove what is common between the first two terms, that is 5R. So 10R square divided by 5R is equal to 2R. 5R, negative 5R divided by 5R is equal to negative 1. Now we can remove what is common between the second two terms as well. So negative 18R and 9. So 9 is common between them. negative 9, my bad, because you want to get the brackets to be the same, that is 2r minus 1, therefore you take negative 9 and not positive 9. So negative 18r divided by negative 9 is equal to 2r, and 9 divided by negative 9 is equal to negative 1, and therefore you can write 5r minus 9 multiplied by 2r minus 1 is equal to 0. Therefore, you can equate each bracket separately to 0. So if you equate 2r minus 1 to 0, you will get your r value as positive half. And if you equate 5r minus 9 to 0, you will get your r value as positive 9 by 5. Now, for B part 4, they are asking us to find the probability that Benoit does not cycle to school. So the probability that they told us that Benoit does not cycle to school is 1.3 minus r. So since probability can't be negative, we cannot use the value of r, that is 9 by 5. Because if we do 1.3 minus 9 divided by 5, we would get our answer as negative half. Therefore, we have to use the r value as half. That is the other r value that we got right here. So 1.3 minus half, which is 0.5, is equal to 0.8, or in fractions it would be 4 by 5. So you can write it in either form, that is 0.8 or 4 by 5. So therefore this would be your final answer for B part 4 of this question.